Okay, so picture this. A high school boy, home alone for summer break. Parents are off doing whatever anime parents do, which is apparently just not exist for extended periods of time. His house is a disaster. This kid, Hitoyoshi, is basically living like a raccoon who got approved for a lease. Then one morning, while he's sleeping, the doorbell rings. He drags himself to the door, checks his security camera, and sees a pretty girl standing outside. She says she's here to apply for a job as a maid. Hitoyoshi has no idea what to do, so he just invites her in. And then he asks if she has any work experience. She tells him she used to be an assassin who killed people who were disloyal to her master. Bro freaks out. She explains that her master sent her here to serve him. He begs her to say she's joking. She's not joking. He panics even more. He asks how he's connected to her master, and she goes on this whole chain. His grandma knew her master's son's third cousin's driver. Hitoyoshi tells her that basically makes them strangers. Then he realizes he just cut her off mid-sentence and gets scared she'll be angry about it, so he quickly changes the topic. He asks what kind of assassination she specializes in, and she's like, "Let me show you." Takes him to the backyard and throws a bunch of knives at a tree, making a perfect vertical line. Hitoyoshi nearly pisses himself. He tells her he doesn't need anyone killed, and since he doesn't know her master, she should just go back. She looks upset but accepts it and apologizes for bothering him. She leaves, he's relieved, but then he notices she forgot her bell. He grabs it and runs after her, and just as he reaches the crossroad, a truck is right in front of him. He's about to get isekai'd for real, but the assassin maid leaps in and saves him. She gets up looking flustered and says she's never saved anyone before and doesn't know why her heart is beating so loud. Hitoyoshi's taken aback and she starts walking away. Then he has a change of heart, asks her to come back for a test run. They get to the house and she immediately starts giving him a lecture on knife techniques. He's like, "No, I just need you to clean." He points at all the trash bags and she asks how many have bodies inside them. This man has to explain that he just wants a normal housekeeper. He feels indebted to her for saving his life, so he wants to help her out. She asks if he'll hire her if she proves she can clean. She tries. Within seconds, she breaks the mop, spills water everywhere, and has the bucket stuck on her head. She apologizes and says she'll clean it up quick, but immediately slips on the wet floor. Before he can catch her, she pulls off a full acrobatic flip and sticks a perfect landing, which is immediately ruined by the bucket landing on her head again. He asks if she's always this clumsy and she gets dejected, says she has no idea how to do anything except kill people and she'll understand if he doesn't want to hire her. But Hitoyoshi just takes the bucket off her head and hands her a towel, tells her she can always learn new things. He helps her clean the house while teaching her and they get the whole place spotless. Then he gets hungry. She can't cook either, so he helps with that too. But he gives her the chopping job and she shreds an entire cabbage in seconds flat with masterful knife skills. One skill transferred. Just the one. He pulls out some pork cutlets and she has no idea what they are, says she's never cared about taste, food is just nutrition. Hitoyoshi takes this personally. He starts hyping up these cutlets from a local shop and she's still giving him nothing. Then he realizes he hasn't asked her name. She tells him she doesn't have one. Her employer can call her whatever he wants. He can't think of anything, so he just calls her Maid for now. They eat. He watches her face eagerly. She says the food has a warmth she's never felt before and tells him it's delicious. Then he tells her to try it with this special sauce and her face transforms. She is absolutely overwhelmed. This woman has been unlocked. Later that night, Hitoyoshi wakes up crying from a nightmare about his mom leaving. He goes to the kitchen for noodles and sees someone inside. He panics, thinking the maid is trying to kill him. Peeks in and sees her with a red smudge on her face. He's terrified, but she turns around holding a bottle of sauce and he realizes she was just having midnight munchies. He makes them both a late-night snack. She tells him she heard groaning from his room earlier and snuck in thinking someone was attacking him, but found him crying in his sleep calling for his mom. He's embarrassed. She tells him about her dream. A giant bottle of sauce was talking to her, but when she tried to lick it, it vanished. He's dumbfounded. She says this was actually nice because usually all her dreams are about killing or getting killed. He mentions that since his mom left, he often dreams about her, and as a child, he'd sleep in her lap when he had bad dreams. The maid immediately offers her lap.
He freaks out and says he's not a child and can't just rest on anyone's lap. That makes her feel empty and useless. She starts remembering her previous master telling her she was only good for killing. Then Hitoyoshi just puts his head on her lap. She feels warm, tells him to sleep there as long as he wants. Next morning, she's chopping trash to make it compact, because of course she is. Hitoyoshi goes outside and finds a puppy left at his door with a note. The previous owner bought it thinking it'd stay small, it didn't, and they left it at the richest looking house. Hitoyoshi's annoyed but adopts it anyway, because it won't survive the summer heat outside. The maid gets weird about this, starts talking about how saving a life without consideration isn't always good, and those who are abandoned should become stronger alone. It's clearly trauma talking. Hitoyoshi just asks her when she saved him yesterday, was it sympathy or instinct? Says it's human instinct to save those you can. Takes the puppy inside. He asks if she wants to hold it. She says she'll pass, backs away. She's scared of dogs. When he asks why, she explains her master left her in a forest with wild dogs during training. That gave her enough trauma to last a lifetime. To prove herself useful, she forces herself to hold the puppy and starts vibrating like an old Nokia. The dog chews her finger, she nearly yeets it out the window. Hitoyoshi catches it. They go to a pet shop, buy supplies, come home. She tells him she's never met anyone as kind as him because his orders are nothing like what she's used to. Later, she feeds the puppy on her own when it rubs against her leg. She initially pulls a knife on it thinking it's attacking from behind, then realizes it's just hungry. Progress. Hitoyoshi names the dog Mochi because of its fluffy fur. He tells the maid she's gotten better at her job and she's genuinely moved by the praise. She guides herself through petting Mochi with his help and realizes her fear was irrational. At dinner, she asks him to name her. He asks about her birthday. All she knows is it was snowing heavily. He names her Yuki, meaning snow. The name triggers trauma because her old master called her that too, said she was cold-blooded like snow. But as Hitoyoshi talks about how much he loves snow in winter, she accepts it, smiles, thanks him, then starts repeating Yuki over and over like a Pokemon. Next day, Hitoyoshi asks Yuki to help him with an ear piercing because he's too scared to do it himself. She takes the piercing gun and is about to do it when she suddenly backs down, trembling, asking if this is her punishment. She says she's afraid of piercing his body. He asks if she didn't used to pierce people on a much bigger scale. Doorbell rings. It's Riko, Hitoyoshi's younger sister. Showed up because he texted about the dog. She opens the door and Yuki's standing there, and Riko is dumbfounded that her brother has a pretty maid. She's pulling his cheeks, demanding to know why he didn't tell her. He says their mom would worry. Riko meets Yuki and immediately gets bashful because this girl loves beautiful people like it's her job. They introduce themselves. Yuki casually mentions she used to be an assassin. Hitoyoshi tries to stop her, but too late. Riko freezes, then gets excited because Yuki is beautiful and strong. Asks for an autograph. Yuki's handwriting is crude and childish. Riko's disappointed, but Yuki tells them she can speak 12 languages fluently. Riko is more impressed now and decides her summer project is going to be about Yuki. They go to the backyard. Riko stands with an apple on her head without flinching, doesn't even doubt Yuki's aim for a second. Yuki throws a knife and hits the apple dead center. Riko asks where the knife came from, and Yuki says she keeps them in her clothes. Originally 16, but Hitoyoshi said that was too many, so she's down to 5. Riko asks more questions until her stomach growls, and Hitoyoshi says it's lunchtime. Riko asks Yuki to make her signature dish. The only thing Yuki knows how to cook is shredded cabbage. They're not herbivores, so they go out and grab some Big Macs instead. Riko spots a poster for a summer festival, and Hitoyoshi mentions they sell a special sauce there. Yuki starts drooling and begs him to take her. He agrees. At the festival, Riko tries the shooting game and misses everything. Yuki takes the gun to show her skills and also can't hit anything because the gun is crooked. She starts genuinely questioning whether she's even fit to be an assassin over a rigged carnival game. They do goldfish scooping where Yuki actually dominates, then hit the sauce shop where she's in heaven. Fireworks start and Yuki's awestruck. She's been to festivals before, but only on assassination missions. This is her first time actually enjoying one. On the way home, a biker speeds toward them, a robber. He almost runs over Riko, but Yuki saves her. Hitoyoshi says people like that should be punished, and Yuki takes that as a mission. She starts climbing buildings, chasing the robber like Spider-Man, leaps from a rooftop and throws 2 knives to blow out his tires. He crashes into an alley. She walks up to him with knives drawn, and Hitoyoshi begs her not to kill him. She just taps his helmet and goes, "This is his punishment." The owner and a cop show up right on cue. Riko tells Yuki about school on the walk home. Yuki's never been to one. She tells Hitoyoshi maybe attending school would help her become normal. Time skipped. Summer ends, Hitoyoshi goes back to school, and one of his friends mentions a pretty Maid cosplayer spotted around town. He spits out of his drink. Then their teacher walks in and introduces a new transfer student. It's Yuki. Hitoyoshi freaks. She's enrolled as his cousin and sits right in front of him. She turns around and calls him master in front of the entire class. Every boy in the room wants him dead. Turns out, Riko arranged the whole thing. Yuki learned the basics of everything in 3 days because her previous career apparently made her a fast learner. She pulled strings with her underworld connections to get the admission. Riko told her not to tell Hitoyoshi because his reaction would be funnier. He smacks Riko for that. First big school moment, the Katsuwara bread rush. Once a week, a famous bakery sells a limited bread at school. There's one with a special sauce inside. That's all Yuki needed to hear. She tells Hitoyoshi she'll get bread for both of them. He says their classroom is the farthest from the cafeteria. She jumps out the window, parkours across the rooftop, runs on the railing, leaps between buildings, lands perfectly in front of the bread store, and gracefully walks inside to order. She comes back devastated because it's one per person. She bought the stuffed bread for herself and got him a regular one from the cafeteria. He tells her to eat the good ones since she earned it. She's thrilled, then breaks off a piece and shoves it deep into his mouth. That night, Riko tells Hitoyoshi he should just marry Yuki. He gets flustered. Riko asks Yuki straight up if she likes him. Yuki says she admires him a lot. Hitoyoshi is about to lose his mind. Meanwhile, there's a new school nurse named Nita. Beautiful, friendly, absolutely not a real nurse. When Hitoyoshi goes to the infirmary, she locks the door, throws him on the bed, and says she's going to check the rest of his body. This man screams that even the lamest videos have more emotional development before they get to the action. She's about to kiss him when the door breaks open and Yuki is standing there. Hitoyoshi runs behind Yuki like a child hiding behind his mom. Yuki pulls him close and tells the nurse to stay away. After they leave, Yuki tells him Nita is definitely an assassin. She's right. Nita, real name Nida, is an assassin whose dream is to create a harem of handsome models and live in Greece. To fund that, she needs to kill Yuki for the bounty. That night, Nida breaks into their house. She uses sauce as bait. She opens the window and Yuki smells her favorite sauce wafting in and gets completely distracted trying to find the source. Classic trap. Nida's already inside dressed like a Catwoman cosplayer, and she's got Hitoyoshi in her grasp. She taunts Yuki, saying she's gone soft from playing house with this boy, as if she's really the famous assassin known as Shu, the White Wolf of Dragon's 9. Yuki pulls a knife, but Nida threatens to poke Hitoyoshi's eyes out. Then Yuki releases a menacing aura and switches to Japanese. She tells Nida that if she harms Hitoyoshi, she'll make her regret it so much she'll beg for death. Nida's scared enough to back off, but takes Hitoyoshi with her to the school grounds, tells Yuki to come at 2 a.m. if she wants him alive. Yuki almost snaps. She remembers her teacher telling her she'll always be a bloody assassin. She plans to kill Nida, erase the evidence, and leave the country forever. But then she remembers Hitoyoshi saying he wants her to stay, and she realizes she wants the same thing. Meanwhile, Nida's tied Hitoyoshi up with bondage gear she keeps in her purse in case she's feeling freaky. She tells him about Yuki being Dragon's 9's number 4, a cold-blooded monster who showed zero emotion while killing. The organization gathers talented individuals worldwide and raises them as master assassins. Hitoyoshi's not impressed. He asks if she's really talking about Yuki, the same girl who's emotionless 1 second and then has everything visible on her face the next. 2 a.m.
Yuki arrives. Nita shoots. Yuki slashes the bullets away. Nita triggers a trip mine. Yuki walks through the explosion untouched. Nita points sniper lasers at all of Hitoyoshi's limbs and says she'll reduce him to a torso. Yuki charges without hesitation, throws 4 knives simultaneously, deflecting every bullet, then destroys Nita's phone with a 5th. Nita screams because it was brand new and uninsured. Yuki kicks the gun away, slams her down, and Nita thinks she's dead. But Yuki tells her she will no longer kill anyone, won't let anyone die because of her either. Walking home, she offers to leave forever to keep Hitoyoshi safe. He just holds her hand and asks her to teach him self-defense so he can help her next time. She gets emotional. They go home. Nita comes back the next day as a blonde PE teacher because she decided watching the legendary assassin play house is too entertaining to leave. She trades 3 months of Gatsuda bread for a peace deal. Yuki accepts without hesitation. Shopping episode. A girl at the market nervously approaches Yuki and tells her she's been watching her for a while and thinks she's really pretty and cool. She asks where Yuki got her uniform because normal people don't wear that. Yuki is genuinely shocked. She had no idea maid uniforms aren't regular clothes. Hitoyoshi confirms the truth and they plan a Sunday shopping trip. Riko's already waiting at the mall, but to Hitoyoshi's horror, Nita is there too. She planted a bug in his room. Riko takes them to a cosplay store first and puts Yuki in an even more eye-catching maid outfit just to snap photos. Yuki doesn't like it because it's not convenient. The next outfit is too short. Yuki says it's not good for hiding knives. Hitoyoshi tells her she doesn't need knives anymore. She says having them makes her feel calm. They finally go to a normal store. Yuki tries regular clothes. Rito and Nita sneak a swimsuit into the mix. They ask Hitoyoshi which outfit he likes, and he says the long white dress. Nita roasts his taste. They buy everything. They spot a Halloween costume shop. Riko rushes in, dresses as a witch. Yuki does the same, but better. Nita dresses like a cop from the hub, and Riko loves it. Then Hitoyoshi sees a poster for a zombie movie and asks Yuki if she wants to watch it. She's never seen a movie before. She's been in cinemas, but only to assassinate targets in the dark. He tells her to just experience it this time. Nita falls asleep mid-movie, but Yuki is locked in. By the end, she's developed a full phobia of zombies. Riko says zombies are slow and stupid, and she could handle them easily. Yuki agrees, but says she hates the smell of rotten bodies, and since they're already dead, she can't even kill them. She starts trembling. The world's deadliest assassin, undone by fictional undead. Meanwhile, a pink-haired girl named Naka has been watching them from a distance. She's training to be an assassin too, from a prestigious ninja family, but she keeps getting distracted. Yuki's sauce runs out. She has nightmares where a giant talking sauce bottle narrates her traumatic past. We learn she was born Maria, a child prodigy, spoke 15 languages by age 7, appeared on TV, happy family, little sister. Then, on her 7th birthday, someone came to the door. Her parents were murdered. She and her sister were kidnapped into assassin training. Her sister eventually told her she hated her and threw away the matching bell their mother gave them. The trauma erased Maria's entire identity. She became Yuki. All of this delivered by a cartoon sauce bottle in a dream. The tonal whiplash gave me actual vertigo. School festival. Cops and robbers event. Student council president Taka, Naka's overprotective older brother who thinks Yuki is turning his sister gay, is the main opponent. Naka teams up with Yuki because she wants her brother's acknowledgement and because she wants a friend. She asks Yuki if they can be friends. Yuki says yes immediately. Naka is overjoyed. Their friend Toga wears a full sauce bottle costume. The game starts. Taka bulldozes everyone, and it comes down to Yuki versus Taka. He smells like katsuda sauce, so she literally can't pull away from him. Naka sacrifices herself with a smoke bomb to save Yuki. Yuki almost wins, but Taka catches her at the buzzer. They lose. But Naka saves Yuki from getting her face on camera by swapping her into the sauce costume.
That night on the rooftop, Hitoyoshi tells Yuki they can try again next year. She's stunned. She's never thought about the future before. She always felt like she could die any moment. Now she has hope for a tomorrow. But Hitoyoshi is spiraling. He's been sleeping next to Yuki because of her nightmares, and it's making him realize he has feelings. One morning, he wakes up, finds her right next to him, silently freaks out, sneaks out of bed, and goes outside to beat himself up about it. He can't sleep anymore because she's always near him. When she knocks, asking if he's okay, he panics and says it's annual deep cleaning day. As he thinks about confessing, the image of his childhood crush appears, the girl who told him, "You don't love me, you just want someone around you." He freezes. Meanwhile, Yuki takes the deep cleaning story seriously and starts mopping. Mochi ruins everything again. She's on the floor drenched in dirty water with the dog on her head waving his towel. Hitoyoshi sees her in the wet shirt and his heart goes to 200 BPM. He runs to the bathroom remembering how his mom left and his crush rejected him and thinks he can't survive Yuki leaving too. Yuki knocks, he opens the door and she's sitting on her knees, lap ready, telling him to rest his head on her to forget his worries. He can't handle it, tells her it's embarrassing. She gets upset, asks if he's grown bored of her, then starts crying and she's shocked because she hasn't cried in a very long time. After that, Yuki becomes uncontrollably emotional, cries when he mentions she forgot radishes, cries when he says Mochi is getting fat because she's been overfeeding him, cries when she sees street cats fighting, cries when a leaf falls from a tree. She apologizes constantly for everything. Hitoyoshi can't figure out how to help, and he can barely sleep himself. Naka finds her at the New Year shrine with swollen eyes. Yuki tells her Hitoyoshi is going to leave her. She can't stop crying whenever she thinks about being away from him. Naka shares that she went through something similar when her mom died, and tells Yuki to just let the tears flow until they stop. She says the grief will pass and she'll smile again. Okay, this part actually got me. Riko went to Hitoyoshi and tells Yuki it's his birthday and their dad is coming home. Hitoyoshi panics because he hasn't told Yuki about his dad. His dad arrives and it's the guy from the gacha store. They sit down to talk. The dad knew Yuki's old master. While they chat, Hitoyoshi realizes he's always on the outside of conversations, assuming what people think instead of just talking to them. Same pattern as when his mom left. His dad leaves. Hitoyoshi grabs the cab door, asks his dad's permission for Yuki to keep staying. His dad just stares at him and asks what he wants to do. Hitoyoshi says he wants Yuki to stay with him. His dad tells him to follow through on his decision and says he'll explain things to mom. First time Hitoyoshi has ever conveyed something real to his father. Behind him, Yuki's feeling giddy because she heard everything. But before she can say anything, his dad calls and asks to speak to her directly. He tells Yuki that Hitoyoshi has started to change because of her and asks her to keep looking after him. She's overwhelmed. After the call, Yuki gathers all her courage and asks Hitoyoshi to see the night view of her. He agrees, and she straight up picks him up and jumps to the rooftop. She's panting and clutching her heart, not from the jump, from the stress of everything she's feeling. As the sun sets, she wishes him happy birthday, pulls out the action figure she got from the gacha machine, but she'd been gripping it too hard and it's broken. She's about to cry again, but Hitoyoshi stops her. He tells her about the figure. It's from his favorite show as a child, back when his parents were still together. He opens up about his insecurities, about avoiding his dad since his mom left, about now wanting their relationship to break down because of silence. He says he wants them to live like a family who shares everything. Then he tells her he likes her, and he waits. She says she likes him too, but she doesn't understand romantic love, not yet. She means it the way you'd say it to someone who made you feel safe for the first time. She's radiantly, purely happy because someone just told her she's family. And for a girl whose family was murdered on Christmas when she was 7, that word carries the entire weight of the world. Hitoyoshi can see she didn't get it. He goes to his room and breaks down crying. He finally worked up the courage and got his heart broken anyway. But in the kitchen, Yuki is cutting cabbage when his confession suddenly replays in her head. She keeps seeing his smiling face, over and over.
She clutches her chest as something unfamiliar starts surfacing inside her. She doesn't have a word for it yet, but it's there. And that's where it ends. Nothing wrapped up in a bow, a girl who's still learning what her own heart means, a boy who finally said the thing and didn't get the answer he wanted, but maybe got the one she needed to hear. A missing sister out there somewhere with a matching bell, an assassin organization that hasn't forgotten about her, a round dog named Mochi, a broken action figure that means more than any perfect gift ever could, and somewhere in that kitchen, a feeling that doesn't have a name yet, but it's growing. Season 2. Please, I am on my knees. If you made it to the end of this, you're genuinely built different. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Peace.